policy I'll cover, don't worry. Password user group, you can change valid from valid to. Under defaults, you can change parameters, you can change rules, you can change profiles, you can change groups, you can change, and license you can change. So all these functionality you can change for mass users through SU10. Okay. Now the second thing is you can create at max 20 users. And apart from this, you can delete all these users. You can lock, unlock. This global lock is a different concept that comes under CUA, Central User Administration. This is change password. This is to change role assignment. So all these options available over here. And under SU01 is one more concept, that is, yeah, I'm creating best one. Okay, over here you can see this new password. So these two concepts I forgot to tell you. This is generate. Let's say you don't want to give your manual password. So I'll type welcome@123 and I'll type welcome@123. This is the password status. Initial password means someone set this password using some transaction code like SU01, SU10. There is one more T code that is basically used for password reset only. I forgot the T code name, but I'll confirm you that later. Okay, so 3 transaction codes are there. And you can set, if you are setting this password for that user through those 3 transaction code, then this will be the initial status of your password, initial password. Let's say I logged in with this password, then this password status changed to productive password. Okay, so these 2 types of concept available in SAP. One is initial password and second one is productive password. If I'll click over here, you can see password is generated. You don't need to enter password manually, but this is the password that is generated for this year. Each and every time you click on this icon, you will see a 48 characters password is generated. This is the securest way of creating users in SAP system, and this is recommended also. But most of the organization is not following this, because each and every time you share this password with the person who is doing SAP task, they have to type it or they need to copy paste it. Now sometimes they will figure out what type of option. So mostly we are just giving welcome@123. But this option is there from SAP. You can click on generate, then this password is given to this user and click on save. Now there are cases where you want to deactivate password for the users. Deactivate means you are using this system as a backend system. In some cases, I'll tell you one scenario where this comes into picture. Okay, so in my previous organization, I am working with one front-end software that is called ESS and MSS. ESS is basically employee timesheet and MSS is basically manager shifting services. So this is basically a portal that is created on top of SAP. Whenever user wants to access that portal and doing some transactions in SAP, then in that case, this password must be disabled for that user. Because if I choose this generated password, how front-end system will access back-end system with this ID? This ID exists in front-end system. I know this is a advanced concept, but I am telling you the scenario where we are using this thing. So this ID exists in front-end system also, like your ESS, MSS, that is a separate system, and under that system, best one ID exists over there as well. And these 2 ID assigned to that one user. Now that user access that best one system, and that user is trying to perform some T codes in SAP using that system. Then how you will give access to that system? Because each and every time, if I'll select this password option, then each and every time, whenever he logs into that system and trying to perform in some transaction in backend system, user will ask credentials, right? But if I'll choose this option and if I'll create a trusted RFC connection between those 2 systems, then this password, if I click on this deactivate password option, then system will understand that this ID belongs to this user, and I can allow this front-end system transaction for this ID. Okay. So in those scenarios, this deactivate password option works. But if I'll save this user with this credentials, you will not be able to log in this user directly. Clear?
Yeah,
Hope you
perfect.
understand.
Yeah, that's yes. Everything is perfect.